Breaking generational cycles. I feel like a lot of us will see our parents do something or see a behavior that they have, and we think, oh, I would never do that. When I have kids, I'm never going to raise them the same way that my parents raised me. I'm never going to treat them the same way that I was treated when I was growing up, the way that my parents treated me. But we have to really understand that the things that our parents did to us, the way that our parents treated us, we automatically adapt those things. We see it and we replicate it. If we are surrounded and we are in a certain environment, it's nature and nurture, right? Our parents nurture us, and that's the way that we are. We see our parents do a certain thing. We see how our parents react a certain way to when we do something. When we mess up or we don't do something that they like, we see that and we're like, okay, when we have kids, we treat our kids the way that our parents treated us. And we can't blame our parents for doing that because our parents did the best they could. Our parents did the best that they thought they could do for us, and our parents adapt things from their parents and their parents, right? They aren't the way that they are just because they want to treat you poorly, or they don't know how to treat and raise a kid in a certain way because their parents did that, so they replicated. A lot of us have to forgive our parents. I feel like a lot of us won't forgive our parents, and it's not necessarily for them, but it's mainly for you. You have to forgive them and really know that they did their best. They did their best with what they had, right? So you have to forgive your parents for them and also for yourself, forgiving them for putting you through whatever it is that they put you through, and intentionally looking at, hey, do I have any behaviors that they do? Did I pick up on anything that they do? When me and my friends, me and my partner have arguments, do I treat them the same way that my parents treated me? Do I shut them out? Do I go and try to solve everything by myself? Or say, if my partner brings something up, brings a flaw to me, I tell them, no, I'm perfect. There's nothing wrong with me. Why are you trying to tell me that there's something wrong? And that's the way that our parents treated us. We tried to bring up something to our parents. We had to tell our parents, hey, maybe we should be doing this instead. And they automatically shut you up. They said, no, that's never the case. That's never the way that it should be. So understanding that we often will adapt certain traits from our parents. We'll replicate things from our parents without thinking about it. It'll be a subconscious thing because a lot of us will say, yeah, I want to have kids, and we have a general idea of how we want to raise them, but we never actually intentionally sit down and think about, hey, when I raise my children, when I raise my kids, this is the way that I'm going to raise them. This is the way that I'm going to handle these certain problems if these problems come up, right? And it's looking at, what did my parents do that I like, and what did my parents do that I didn't like. A lot of us won't actually think about that, and when we get into those situations, we think back and we're like, what did our parents do? And we replicate and we continue that cycle. We continue that cycle of not talking to our parents. When we have a problem or we're facing a hardship in our life, we never go to our parents. And that's because whenever we go to our parents tend to critique us. Our parents tend to tell us, hey, why'd you even do that in the first place? Our parents don't help us. And from the first time of us reaching out to our parents when we needed help, they didn't actually help us. They just tried to find every flaw, everything that was wrong with what we did. They said, how'd you even get into that situation in the first place? They'll say, no, why are you even doing this, when all we wanted was for them to help us? All we wanted was for them to pick us up when we couldn't get up ourselves, right? And when our kid comes to us with a problem, we don't know what to do. We treat them the way that our parents treated us. And I feel like our generation especially knows that there is such thing as generational trauma, generational cycles. So we have to be the ones to break them. We have to be the ones to intentionally sit down and realize that, yeah, we do adapt a lot of things and we do act a lot like our parents, and that's not our fault. We were raised by our parents, and sometimes we weren't raised by our parents, right? We raised ourselves, or our siblings raised us, right? So it's breaking those generational cycles, being there for our kids, being there for them when our parents weren't. It's like with my family, my parents, my dad specifically, he was always there, but it never felt like he was present, right? He was always around, but it never felt like he was actually there. He was physically there, but he was never there emotionally, and it was hard to connect. It is still hard to connect with him. And I don't know if that's like a immigrant thing or whatever it is. It's hard to have relationships with your parents. And for me, I want to have a good relationship with my kids, right? It's being a good father, being a good dad, but also kind of being friends with them. Something that my parents would always tell me is that I'm not your friend. And I do agree with that. I do agree that, hey, your parents shouldn't be your friends, but you should have some sort of friendship like relationship with your kids, right? It shouldn't just be dad, son, dad, daughter, right? I don't know. It's a hard thing to really navigate, and I don't blame my parents for how they raised me. I don't blame them for anything. I've forgiven them for the way that they raised me, and they did the best they could. So, a big thing with breaking those generational cycles, breaking that generational trauma is forgiveness. To forgive your parents, because a lot of us will blame our parents. We'll blame our parents for our situation. We'll blame our parents for the people that we are, but they did their best. And that's something that you have to acknowledge and you have to accept. Forgive them for anything that they put you through and anything that they will put you through. Most parents won't do things because they hate you. Most parents want to see you succeed. They want to see you do good in life, and they don't hate you, they love you. My mom always tells me that you won't understand how much I love you until you have your own kids, until you have your own children. And I agree with her. I will never know this type of love until I have kids myself. So, understanding that your parents don't want to see you fail, your parents are doing their best to raise you, and you have to accept that. We have to understand that our parents love us and they want what's best for us. They don't want us to fall, crash, and burn. They want us to succeed, right? So forgive your parents for whatever it is that they put you through. They did their best. Breaking these generational cycles aren't going to be easy, and we have to, as our generation, we have to be the ones to do so, or they're just going to keep on going and going. We have to be the ones to step up and intentionally break these cycles, breaking generational cycles.